Hello and welcome to another series with the Aruka Seventh-day Adventist Church Health Ministries. My name is Chantal Burgess and I'll be presenting for you today Heart Matters, Cardiovascular System, Function, Disease, and Causes. So as we continue and as we begin this new series, I thank God for the knowledge that we will gain on how our cardiovascular system functions, the diseases that may affect us. I also pray that we will be able to learn great and powerful truths, even in the exploration of how our body works. So be blessed as we move forward. So we're going to start with the cardiovascular system, function and importance. So as we go through the function, we will see the importance of it to our lives, and then we will better understand how the diseases occur and later on, as discussions come up with various presentations, we will understand how we can combat these. Think about a major factory that produces wholesome, nutrient-rich drinks. We have thousands of little shops all over the nation, and they all require this drink so that all of the people across the country can purchase and be able to function for the day. So a large fleet of powerful delivery vans race through the bus route, main road, and all of the side streets to ensure the shops are well stocked. You imagine? They stock the shops with nutrient-rich drinks, and then the bad ones, they remove them. To and from the factory they go. Well, our cardiovascular system is just like that fleet of delivery vans and the factory. So the function basically is to carry oxygen-rich blood to all of the cells and remove waste from the body. So it also protects the body against disease and infections. It transports hormones to target cells and organs, and it regulates temperature. All of this in addition to carrying the oxygen-rich blood to the cells and removing carbon dioxide. So let's look at the parts of the system, right? So when you hear cardio, we would usually think heart. When we hear vascular, we would think blood vessels. So cardiovascular. So the heart. The heart is a large muscle organ, a muscular organ, that is responsible for pumping enough oxygenated and nutrient-rich blood throughout the body. Divided into 4 chambers, it receives and passes blood through the chambers using valves to prevent backflow, as you can see here. Picking up oxygen by passing oxygen-poor blood from veins and pumping it to your lungs, where it picks up oxygen and gets rid of carbon dioxide. The left side of your heart receives oxygen-rich blood from your lungs and pumps it through your arteries to the rest of your body. Okay? So it's a nice but complex little system within that heart. Talking about little, fun fact. Make a fist for me. Did you know that your heart is just about a little bigger than the size of your fist? Imagine the amount of work this little heart has to do for our big bodies every second of the day to ensure we have life. This is why it's important to care for your heart. Heart matters. Next, we have our blood vessels. Arteries transport high-pressure blood from the heart to smaller arteries and arterioles. Arterioles connect arteries and capillaries. Veins act as a reservoir of blood and transport low-pressure blood from venues to heart. Venules connect capillaries and veins. Capillaries allow gas exchange, nutrient transfer, and waste removal between blood and tissue fluid. So all the vessels are connected towards transferring blood, nutrients, oxygen, and essentially life throughout the body. Do you remember that large fleet of trucks? Do you remember the pathways it used? Yes, the vessels operate in the same way. Some small back roads or some bigger roads like the highways or special reserved roads like the bus route, all connecting and providing a clear path for trucks to pick up or deliver. Can you see it? What a fascinating and well-coordinated system God has made. We too can be vessels used by Christ to spread his love and grace. 2 Timothy 2:21 says, "If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work." So let's look at the blood. So we have three main functions: transport, regulate, and protect. Transport what? Nutrients, hormones, oxygen, and the removal of waste, right? Regulate what? Temperature and the pH. Protect what? How does it protect? It protects by promoting clotting so that you don't bleed to death. And also fight against foreign cells to the body, fight viruses, bacteria, and diseases. Parts of the blood cell. The parts of the blood are the red blood cells, and that contains a red pigment known as hemoglobin that gives it its red color. And oxygen binds to the hemoglobin, and that is transported around the body. In tiny blood vessels in the lungs, the red blood cells pick up oxygen from air we breathe in and carry it through the bloodstream to all parts of the body. So what you breathe in goes through those tiny blood vessels and go throughout your body. White blood cells play an important role in the immune system. And here the different white blood cells have different functions. Some fight intruders such as bacteria, viruses, parasites, or fungi themselves and render them harmless. Others make antibodies which specifically target foreign objects or germs like viruses. Platelets, they are like little discs, just like the red blood cells, but they are smaller than red blood cells, and they don't have a nucleus. They are crucial in the blood clotting, and as we said, if you get a cut and blood is coming out, the healing process begins with the blood platelets gathering and clumping together on the inside of the damaged wall of the blood vessel. This quickly causes a plug to form and close the wound temporarily. At the same time, strong protein threads are made and they hold the clump in place, attached to the wound, and that's where you see these scabs forming. The blood plasma is a light yellow, slightly cloudy liquid. Over 90% of blood plasma is water, while less than 10% consists of dissolved substances, mostly protein. So our blood is very important, our vessels are very important, and our heart is very important. So the fun fact about blood, 7%. Blood is generally equivalent to 7% of the body weight. The number of perfection. Consider this. Jesus Christ came to earth to die, and he shed his blood so that we might have life. What a great consideration. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins according to the riches of his grace. Ephesians 1:7. So again, in summary, the blood circulates through a network of vessels throughout the body to provide individual cells with oxygen and nutrients and help dispose of metabolic waste. The heart pumps the blood around the blood vessels. So this system is very important to life, and we are now going to look at some diseases and how this could be a public health concern. Cardiovascular disease is a general term for conditions affecting the heart or blood vessels. It's usually associated with a buildup of fatty deposits inside the arteries and an increased risk of blood clots. It can also be associated with damage to arteries and organs such as the brain, heart, kidneys, and eyes. Wow. According to the latest World Health Organization data published in 2018, coronary heart disease deaths in Trinidad and Tobago reached 2,136, or 20%, 19.8% of total deaths. This is a very high rate, and it was actually ranked number 82 in the world, right? There's a long list of cardiovascular diseases. However, the most common ones we will talk about. But as we see this figure, we know this is very alarming, and it is a cause of concern, and we should pay close attention. So as this series continues, and as you see the different diseases, think about persons you know, or think about yourself if you have these conditions, and work on yourself or help somebody to regain health and to combat these diseases. Cardiovascular accidents or strokes, 10.14% of total deaths. This is where a blood supply to part of the brain cuts off, right? And therein lie loss of function in various parts of the body. We know that different parts of the brain is responsible for function in different parts of the body. So if the blood supply is cut off in certain parts of the brain, it would affect function in the body. Arrhythmia. Arrhythmia is basically an abnormal heart rhythm, and our heart should have a constant beat and a constant flow. If there are offbeats, then the flow of blood will also be affected, greatly affected, and the oxygen flowing through the body will be affected. And sometimes some symptoms with arrhythmia would be chest pain, shortness of breath, fainting, and dizziness, lightheadedness. And that could also show a reduction in oxygen flowing through the body. Heart attacks. Part of the heart muscle does not receive enough blood. So sometimes this occurs due to a blockage or a tear in an artery around the heart, or if the heart requires more oxygen than is available. And this is different from heart failure, which basically shows that the heart does not pump enough blood around the body. Okay? And it does not meet the needs of the body. So these are 4 ones that we would look at, right? And some of these would be explored later on, but we're just looking at a general picture of cardiovascular diseases. Now, what are the causes of these? Some risk factors to these are high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, inactivity, poor nutrition, obesity, something that we spoke about in previous sessions, and you should definitely go back to that. Family history, excessive alcohol consumptions. Okay, so these are some causes. These are some risk factors. What could possibly be the cause for all of these issues that lead to so much death? Basic thing, lifestyle choices, lifestyle. There are many things in our lifestyle that contribute to us developing risk factors, which lead to the cardiovascular diseases. We saw the function of our cardiovascular system and we know the importance of it. As such, we want to do as much as we can to take care of this system as it promotes life throughout the body. This leaves us with some sobering thoughts. Looking at the list of causes or risk factors rather, we can see it's all up to us to choose. Our daily choices directly affect our health and our heart. So we can choose to make a change. The same way Jesus asked us to choose Him, the source of life, the one that can cleanse us from sin and fill us with His grace. We ask that you choose that source of life in Christ Jesus and that you also choose to live a healthy lifestyle. But how can you do that? Stay tuned in this series to find out how you can take care of your body, in particular, your cardiovascular system, and prevent cardiovascular disease and to prevent early death. You can check us on Facebook, our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, to get in touch with us to learn how to choose that source of life. But remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel to keep abreast of the various health videos that will be coming up, and go back to the previous health videos to catch up on information related to health. Here are some local resources that you can see for heart-related issues. We have the Trinidad and Tobago Heart Foundation and we have the Chest and Heart Association of Trinidad and Tobago. So as we continue, let's remember that whatsoever you eat or drink or do all to the glory of God. Remember to subscribe for more and we will keep in touch. Stay tuned.